How's it going, guys? Cameron here, Canadian Gamer, coming at you with another video. Now, normally I don't touch topics like this. I wasn't really going to cover this all that much, but I noticed there's a lot of channels in the gaming community that have covered this, and I don't feel like they're approaching it from the right perspective. So I wanted to sort of give my thoughts on it and explain to you why I feel limited run games absolutely made the right decision when they fired one of their employees recently. So let's get into it here. So we'll start by reading an article here. It's an article from LAmerican.com, and it says, video games company Limited Run Games fires worker for following libs of TikTok on social media. So we'll read the article here and we'll get into it. So it says here, Limited Run Games, a company that distributes video games in physical format, has fired its community manager after being singled out for following accounts such as Libs of TikTok and Ben Shapiro on Twitter. Kara Lynne, social media manager for Limited Run Games, said on December 28th on her personal Twitter account that she was looking forward to the arrival of the new Harry Potter video game, as Harry Potter writer J.K. Rowling has been accused of transphobia for not adhering to the tenets of gender ideology. This innocent comment by Kara Lynne caught the attention of a transgender activist. Apparently, this transgendered person alerted user Purple Tinker, also transgender, who filed a complaint with the company, in this case Limited Run Games, accusing its community manager of transphobia and of failing to contribute to creating a safe space for their community. To document his complaint, he dug through tweets from the employee's personal account and found a post from 7 years ago in which she showed her discomfort as a woman about having to share bathrooms with biological men who now claim to be a woman. Aside from this, he accused the worker of being a Twitter follower of accounts such as Libs of TikTok and Ben Shapiro. So all you guys are up in arms about this, and you're boycotting Limited Run Games, and you're throwing your fists in the air. Oh, it's all about freedom of speech, and how dare they do this? How dare Limited Run Games fire this employee? How dare they? Well, let's get a little bit further in on this, okay? So what exactly is Libs of TikTok? I didn't know myself. I had to look it up, so this is straight from Wikipedia. Libs of TikTok is a far-right anti-LGBT Twitter account owned by Shea Rychik, a former real estate agent, that reposts content created by left-wing and LGBT people on TikTok and on other social media platforms with hostile, mocking, and derogatory commentary. Libs of TikTok social media accounts have received several temporary suspensions and a permanent suspension from TikTok. So where do we even begin with this? For you guys out there that are suggesting that this employee got fired because of political reasons, because of who she decides to follow, politically speaking, that couldn't be further from the truth. That has nothing to do with this whatsoever, okay? It's no secret Limited Run Games, as well as most corporations out there these days, are 100% committed to inclusion in the workplace, okay? And equal rights, and making sure that their employees feel comfortable when they go to work, okay? So, when you find out that you've got an employee that works for your company, in this case, somebody that's probably a face of the company based on her job description, community manager, okay? And she's following a group, whether she engaged with them, that's irrelevant. The fact that she's following them and they're involved with anti-LGBT crap that they're posting online, okay? That's a red flag. That's a red flag, okay? How are the other employees that work at limited run games supposed to come to work feeling comfortable in this environment when they know that there's someone else that works there that could potentially be anti-LGBT? Potentially, right? The reason why I say potentially is because we don't know. We don't know the whole story, okay? The problem, and what we do know, the problem is she was following libs of TikTok, okay? And a few other conspiracy theorists out there as well. Okay, and when you're an employer, okay, especially if you're working in the HR department, I don't know if Limited Run Games has an HR department. I'm sure they probably do. And this information is brought forward to you, okay? At that point, when you put all the pieces of the puzzle together, okay, this is painting a picture as to this person's character, okay, or lack thereof, okay? So again, I ask you, how can this person work for Limited Run Games, okay, when clearly she's shown an interest in a community online that supports anti-LGBT? So if you're gay, as an example, okay, or let's say you're transgender, okay, you're working at Limited Run Games, how are you supposed to feel comfortable coming into work when you know somebody else works there that could be potentially discriminatory towards your preferences, okay? Okay? And it's not just Limited Run Games, okay? This is how it is everywhere. Maybe not on the construction site, okay? Maybe not if you're self-employed. But for most corporations out there, this is how it is, okay? You need to play the game, okay? Whatever your beliefs are outside of work, okay? You better make sure your social media is locked down tight, okay? Because especially if you're a community manager, you better believe it, there could be eyeballs on your social media, okay? There's a lot of companies out there that will actually do a social media scrub before they even hire you. There's companies out there, there's jobs out there in the world where they'll ask for character references of like 3 or 4 people that you were friends with when you were a child. Why do you think they do that? They're trying to paint a picture as to who you are as a character. So, when this employee that works for Limited Run Games, okay, when it comes to light that this person's following libs of TikTok, of course Limited Run Games is going to fire this poor person. Of course! Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, are you kidding me? This is a company that supports inclusion and diversity in the workplace. The last thing they want to do is have a community manager that works there that supports libs for TikTok and anti-LGBT crap that's being put online. Okay, use your fucking head, guys. Use your head. Of course she'd get fired. Of course. Of course. Jesus Christ. It's like that anywhere. It doesn't matter where you work, okay? If you've got a job in an office and they find out that you're following a group that's, just as an example, anti-LGBT, you don't think that's going to raise a red flag? That's a bad look for the company, okay? And not only that, like I said, how are these other employees supposed to come into the office feeling comfortable when they're working next to somebody that could potentially be looking at them like there's something wrong with them when there's not? So again, you guys that are screaming to the sky that you're going to boycott Limited Run Games, you need to look at the whole picture here, okay? You need to look at the whole picture. This had nothing to do with politics and freedom of speech, okay? This had to do with somebody that got busted, okay? Whether it was 7 years ago or not, following somebody, or a group in this case, and showing interest in what it is that they were pushing on people. Okay? That's the problem. That's the problem, okay? That's the problem. You guys know that's the problem, okay? So, if anything, Limited Run Games should be commended for what they did, okay? Unbelievable, you guys. You guys that want to boycott limited run games, okay? You're basically supporting somebody that got caught supporting a group that's against the LGBT community, okay? Wrap your head around that. And while we're on the topic of people getting fired for wrongful dismissal, and you're up in arms that this person got fired, meanwhile, you have no problem going out to Walmart to buy your groceries, Costco. You have no problem going through the drive-thru at Tim Hortons or McDonald's, Burger King. You have no problem going into the Gap. You have no problem going to buy a new pair of shoes at the Nike outlet. Guess what? This situation we're talking about here, don't act like it hasn't happened before, because it has. It's happened at all other companies out there, whether it be Walmart, General Motors, Tesla, Google. At some point in time, there was probably an employee, okay, that got caught with their pants down, following a group online that, whether it be a white supremacist group or anti-LGBT communities, that probably got brought to light, and they probably got walked into the HR department, here's your papers, and walked out the door. But because you guys are living in a bubble, a niche retro video game bubble, you guys can't see the forest through the trees, and you think that this is like a one-off situation. It's not. This happens all the time. And for good reason. Oh my God. Do I like limited run games as a company? Not really. I'm not crazy on their business practices, although they are starting to offer Xbox games, so that's cool. Was it extremely unfortunate the way this all went down? How there was somebody that actually went into this employee's social media and did a deep dive and found this information and reported it? Yeah, rather unfortunate. But hey, obviously something was triggered that caused that woman to go onto her social media, the employee's social media, and do a deep dive, okay? So that's the employee's fault, okay? The employee committed a murder and didn't clean up their mess, okay? If you're going to take on a job as a community manager at Limited Run Games, okay, and you're going to be on social media where people are going to be looking at your different platforms that you're on, you better fucking go back 7 years and dot every I and cross every T and clean up your social media. If not, lock it down. Otherwise, it's your own fault. Okay? It's your own fault. Okay? Limited Run Games is trying to promote an inclusive environment. Okay? They don't need a community manager who supports anti-LGBT as the face of the company. They don't need that. So of course they're going to fire. Okay, guys? Use your fucking head. Oh my God. You guys need to wake up. It's 2023, okay? There's zero tolerance for that shit in the workplace. Zero tolerance. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's it for tonight's rant. I hope you guys are all doing well wherever you are, and we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.